Hi, comrades. Today I wanted to talk to you about so-called Ukrainian language. Yes. If you are an American or an Englishman, you probably know nothing about Ukraine, where it is, and you don't give an F word about its language. Nevertheless, if you want to know something, which probably you don't want, I'd like to talk about this language. Well, Ukrainian language. The fact is, Ukrainians don't speak this language themselves. Most Ukrainians, a considerable amount, most of the Ukrainians speak Russian. Yes. They speak Ukrainian in just one case, maybe two. First, they want to show everybody, especially Russians, if they are around, that they are Ukrainians. And second, there are Ukrainians from the western parts, and it is more, there are more people who speak this language there. They use Russians. If something happens, if a Ukrainian is afraid, or maybe he's in a battle, he has some feelings, he immediately stops using Ukrainian. He begins to use Russians, because Russian is language, well, they use it, yes, because they are Russians. They are Russians who are, well, let's not talk about this now. Let's speak about just language. Why don't they speak Ukrainian? First, this language is extremely poor. It is very difficult to express yourself. Why is it poor? It is artificial. It was created by communists. Yes, it's not a joke. Yes. I'm not going to talk to you about long centuries of Russian history. I just want to tell you that Ukraine was always a part of Russia, and Russia started from the city of Kiev. And Kiev was always called the mother of all Russian cities. Yes, it was the capital of Russia by that time. No wonder Russia is a very big country. It has very interesting and very long history. The capital was in Kiev, afterwards it was in Moscow, then it was in St. Petersburg, and then in Moscow again. The history is very long, And for a number of centuries, the capital was in Kiev. Yes, Kiev is the mother of all Russian cities. And Kiev's princess said, brethren, let's fight for the Russian land, not Ukrainian land, for Russian land, mind it. So, what's Ukrainian? Where did it come from? It's a dialect. Yes, Russia is a very big country, and in every big country, not in some stupid little town or city, but in countries, people start to develop dialects. In this part of the enormous big country, they speak this way, in another part they speak that way. Well, Ukrainian is a dialect of Russian, and so we Russians look at it this way. Yes, it's Russian, but it is very much twisted and perverted. At least we feel this way. For instance, in Russian, a word street is улица, and in Ukrainian it is вулиця, and it consists of such words. Another thing I wanted to tell you about, is this language was very much developed by communists. The question is why they did that. I suppose the Soviet Union consisted of about 15 republics, 15 or 16, it was different in different times. Well, they developed every little culture of every little republic. There were 15, like Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan is big, Estonia, Lithuania, well, these little countries which are now very hostile to us, Russians. And in every country's language and literature and everything connected with the culture was very much developed. The communists very hardly, sometimes it was great difficulty, looked for writers, for people who developed the language. And so the language of Ukraine was, they tried to develop it as much as they could, but they always used Russians in schools, although there was a course of Ukrainian, but you cannot teach them physics or chemistry or medical sciences in Ukrainian language. This is just a funny dialect, it's not a language. So that's it. Ukraine was a part of Russia always. Its language is a dialect of Russian, and it was made a republic and was given a language by communists, which of course made a very grave mistake.